everyone. I'm Catherine Leathers, your 2025 Watercolor Society President. On behalf of the FWS Board of Directors, it's a pleasure to welcome you to our Florida Watercolor Society Associate Members Exhibition Review with our FWS 2025 AMOS Judge and Juror, Kim Johnson-Neckman. Special thanks to our digital director, Ron Malone, for setting up the Zoom links for this exhibition review. And thanks to Kathy Durden and Nancy Murphy Davis for hosting this webinar. Also, special thanks to our judge, who will be doing the exhibition review in a few moments. Just to let you know, the AMOS exhibition review slides were set up by our FWS Communication Director, Robin Lee Makowski, who always does a masterful job in creating these exhibition review PowerPoints. The exhibition review slides will include an image of each painting, along with the title and the name of the artist. And now, let me introduce our very own FWS Director, Nancy Murphy Davis, who has done a masterful job in coordinating this exhibition. Nancy?
Hi, I just wanted to thank all of our wonderful artists that entered. I'm always blown away by the talent in our organization. I hope I helped all of you get everything entered the way it needed to be. I had a great time working with Kim, getting the show together, and I'm very pleased with what we have. Thank you for participating. If you didn't participate this year, I hope to see you enter the annual this year or the AMOS next year if you're eligible. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim, very much. Now, we're delighted to have you all here today as we come together to learn more about watercolor painting. Your presence at this exhibition review makes it more meaningful, and we are excited to share this experience with you. Congratulations to our Florida Watercolor Society artists who had paintings that were invited to participate in the 2025 AMOS exhibition. And also, congratulations to our AMOS Award recipients. Just so you know, the AMOS exhibition paintings will be shown in alphabetical order, according to the artist's last name. The paintings that have received awards will be presented after all the other paintings have been reviewed. So, if your painting is not presented in this initial review, congratulations. You have probably received an award from our AMOS judge and juror, Kim Johnson-Neckman. Your AMOS award includes first prize, second prize, third prize, and 3 merit awards. These AMOS awards will be presented in reverse order, with the 3 merit awards presented first and concluding with our first prize award. During the exhibition review, your microphones will be muted. Thank you once again for joining us for this memorable event. You are most welcome. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our online judge and juror. Kim Johnson-Neckman is an artist who loves to capture life and to use color to express the joy of living, combined with the pleasure she gets from the medium. As life brings new experiences to Kim as a person, there is an exponential increase to her confidence and to her expression of life through color. She particularly enjoys the challenge of carefully working out a composition without losing spontaneity. Kim has signature memberships with the following watercolor societies: American Watercolor Society, National Watercolor Society, Transparent Watercolor Society of America, Watercolor West, San Diego Watercolor Society. Kim has also been featured in several splash magazines: The Art of Watercolor magazine, Pratique des Arts magazine, and in Art Journey Animals, collection of inspiring contemporary masterworks. And now, here is our judge and juror, Kim, and the exhibition review. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you very much. I want to let everybody know I really enjoyed doing this journeying. Um, I, my process is that I went through all of the paintings right off the bat just to familiarize myself with the paintings, and I reviewed them several times and whittled it down and whittled it down. So it was a really nice experience. So hopefully you will all agree with me. We're going to start the paintings. There we go. So I'm just going to say a little bit about each of the paintings that I chose and the reason why I chose them, I guess, kind of. I hope I explain why I have accepted them. Some of them I thought that they were just really fun paintings, things that I would like to hang in my own home. Of course, I went with design and composition and all that kind of good stuff as well. But as we've all learned, art is extremely subjective. So we choose what we choose because we like them, and there has to be something about them that makes it good as far as I'm concerned. So, okay. Okay, this one, I love the whole concept of it. If you're a woman, you've got 10,000 shoes, and they're not normally organized like this, but I thought this was fabulous. I just really enjoyed. The colors are good, they're bright, they're vibrant. I look around the painting, takes me all around and back around. So that's why I chose this one. And this one I really enjoyed as well. I think it is a really interesting composition, is that it's dark at the bottom, goes lighter as it goes up. Losing some edges at the top, I thought was a great idea, and the build just brings you right back down into the painting. I enjoy looking at this one. Very nice, thank you. This one I could feel the horses racing. I could feel the dust splattering up, and I think that you did a nice job with the background, bringing them into the riders and the horses, and you did a very nice job with that splashing at the bottom. Thought it was very nice. I'm in Costa Rica a lot of the time, and so these beach paintings to me really speak to me. And I just I liked that you had the dunes on both sides, takes you right into where the water is. Your clouds look lovely. I like the illusion of the birds up there. I really enjoyed this one as well. It's nice. Here again, the water. The water does something for me, I guess, and I know how difficult it is to do boats with waters and all that good stuff, and I just thought you did a really nice job with the figure in the boat. It's not overly complicated. But it says exactly what it should say. You know that the shore is close and the distance. I like this one as well. Like I said, the boat with the water, and it was like no fuss, no muss. Very nice job. And this one, I really enjoyed the waves. The waves speak to me. I think waves can be very difficult. I think you did a really nice job with that. Takes me into the distance. The rocks up front, little splashes, very nice. And this one, I'm a cat person. I'm one of those that say cats rule, dogs drool. But I love dogs too. And this one kind of gave me the feeling of almost like an urban sketching type thing, which I truly enjoyed. You know, it brings you up one side, up to the cat, the white, back down to the other cat. The hallway, you could tell, is, you know, moving back in. Really looks, you did a very nice job on this. Nice. I love these. There were a couple of them in this type of style, and I just thought they were just so much fun. I did, like, again, this is something I probably would hang in my house because I just thought it was really a nice job. Was it too complicated per se, but it is in a way, and you handled it very nicely. I love the martini glasses with the olives, the cherries, the bottles. I liked how you also went around each of them, you know, like with a darker edge, but then you came back in and did some lighter edges. Just a beautiful painting. And this one, I thought the the perspective was an interesting one, very interesting. And of course, then you see the little red dots and you realize those are those woodpeckers, which we have in our backyard down here. And I like that you have that perspective. I'm not sure why I'm having a problem with that today. Being able to see some of the sky, but you also get the suggestion of leaves happening up there, the texture of the wood on the tree. Just a very nice job. And this one, of course, I love this. That's probably going to be me, but maybe I'll have 10 of those babies. I think you did a good job with the portrait of the woman. You didn't put too much information. The cat looking at you like, is she done yet? And you did a really nice job with a black cat. Black cats, I think, can be difficult, but it feels like you handled the medium very well. Doesn't look like you've overworked anything. It's just, it really is a nice feeling, really nice. I really enjoyed this too. It almost looks as though the macaw has like flown in and just landed on her arm, and you can tell the wind is blowing. And I liked how your greens moved right into the background. I love how you lost some of the back of the bird as though the wind was blowing the ruffles somehow, or the feathers somehow. I think you did a nice job with this as well. Very good. And crabs, oh my. And you know, I feel like you really handled this one well as well. This one with the different blues, but you followed it around throughout the painting. The claws bring you back and around. I almost feel like I could almost smell the crabs in a bucket or whatever it was in. I don't know. But I feel like you did a nice job with this as well. I like some of the shadow shapes. Some of them you put more information in, some a little less. So it just really worked for me. I thought this was a lovely painting. You could tell she's in the bright sunlight, or chopsticks or sunlight moving, a little blur there. That was good. She looks like she's ready to take a bite, but she's smirking at somebody. Very nice. And here at the dunes again. I love these. I think that they're just so, you guys have done, several of you have done these very well. Feels like beachy sand, ocean in the background, or lake, or whatever it is. Your sky is lovely, not too much information. It brings you back down to the dunes. Your grass looks beautiful. Just a really nice job. Some of these abstract ones that we're in, there's so much fun. And I really I know that this person submitted a couple of them, and I had a difficult time deciding which, because I thought they were all really nice. The colors, the different shapes, just keep you coming in and wanting to see more of it. And every time you come in a little closer, you see a little bit more. A really nice job on this, I think. And here's another crab, which I just really enjoyed these. Again, you did a nice job. This person did a nice job with the claws. They're just, I like the positioning on the paper. I liked how you let parts of the crab just lead right out into the background or off the edge, which makes you feel like there might be more or whatever. Nice job. And the crystal done on this one, I thought was an excellent job with the crystal, the lighting, the reflections. Really very, very good. I think sometimes these can be very difficult and they take a lot of time and a lot of concentration. And I'm not sure I would have the patience because I'm sure you had to have a lot of patience to do this. How you can see the glass through the front blue glass container. You see the red behind. You really did a good job on this. It's very nice. And the feel of this one was just so cute. Sometimes the red sweater, repeating the red through her little shirt. I could just about see a little girl doing, or a little boy, whatever. I'm sure it must be a little girl doing exactly this. And I really liked the feel of this. And again, you let her run right off the edge. So it's a nice composition as well. Very nicely done. I like these that, they show the people, because I think sometimes they can be a little bit more difficult, but I felt like you did a really nice job with this. Not too much information in the faces, didn't need to. Your gestures feel good. I like the repeating orange throughout with the cups right up to the umbrellas, down on the ground a little. Very nice. This what I thought was a very nice one as well. You could tell that you just kind of laid down some colors, get put in a little bit of interest in the front, let some of it just move back. It shows the distance very well. I like how you handled the hills out in the back. Kind of brings you right into that bridge along that coastline, right to the front. Keeps your eye moving. Very nice job. These boats, I think you did a lovely job, and I particularly like how you handled your palm trees. Not too much information, just enough. Laid down some color, put in a little bit of detail. I like how the front boat has got the splash of water with people inside the boat. They did an excellent job. Like I said, I especially like how you handled your palm trees, which I know can be a difficult thing. And you handled it very well. I can almost feel the breeze on my face. This one is lovely as well. I don't want to feel like I'm just repeating myself, but you did such a nice job with the sky reflecting into the water. Having the weeds up front just helps pull it into perspective, makes that water lay right down flat and the sky above. The colors are very nice here. I really enjoyed this one. This one is very nice. I love that you used almost a monochromatic palette here. It worked very well. Your boat looks fabulous. The dock feels like a very rainy day. And if you did this in plein air, and I'm quite impressed with that. You did a good job with this being plein air and nice. I love this one because I love all those bright colors. the green behind the red, you know exactly where you're supposed to look. The people carrying their stuff, a lot of people, you did a nice job with that. Very nice. And you kept the bright up on top, and the main character is a very nice job with this. It's not an easy subject to have done. I love how you handled the flags in this one. They take you right down into those people, repeated color. Your trees in the background, very nicely done. Little information and then a little more and then a little more. It just, I can feel the shade. You did a nice job with perspective on this one. Nice job. I loved the background trees in this one. You did an exceptional job with those trees back there. You gave just enough information to not feel like it was too much, like you could go exploring back there and figure out some other stuff back there. But you know, you put just enough information in those trees, leaves. The waterfall looks fabulous. You did a very good job with this one as well. I really enjoyed these because I see these pelicans here, and I love that you gave them some beautiful color. The white in the water down in the front, it, it just gives it a really nice feel. Very nice. And this one, I could feel the twirl of the skirt. I mean, again, I can't imagine that this was an easy subject. And I'm glad to see that your group takes on some of these really hard subject matters, because this could not have been easy. You did a great job with that woman's skirt, leading right into the man all the way back. So it takes you into the distance, but then brings you right back up to the front. Very nice. I love your trees on this one as well. Doing these leaves like this with just kind of laying down color, letting your colors commingle, and then picking out a few more important areas where you want your eye to go, with the sparkle of the light coming through on that building. Your colors are lovely. This was, again, not an easy subject, but you did a beautiful job on it. Very nice. I really enjoyed this one. The title of it was absolutely perfect. The more I looked at it, the more I moved in and looked and saw more things in there. You did a great job with the cards, making them feel like they're flat or standing on end. All the little characters in there. I just thought it was, again, not an easy subject to do, and you did a fabulous job with it. I like the idea of this. I don't know if it's a mom who took their kids, or if it was just a bunch of kids got together and looked at the art. And I like that it's all from behind. You don't have to see the facial expressions. You did a nice job with this, making the figures very simple. The art in front of it, very nice job. Again, these boats, I love them. I thought the boats were great. The reflected light through some of the shadows areas, right up under the boats. You did a good job with your palm trees as well. The reflections of the posts, keeping the light pattern through the water. Very nice job. The cat, oh, I think he's adorable. He's I could feel him just looking up, probably at a bird or something, almost ready to cackle or something. He's very, very nice job on him. I just really enjoyed this abstract. Carried the colors through. Nice design work, variation in shapes. colors are beautiful. You did not overwork. Um, Sometimes I'm not an abstract artist, so sometimes it's more difficult for me to say specifically, but it's just a nice feeling to this painting. And this piano guy, I thought you did a great job. I think that with his coat, you especially did a great job with that. There was no reason to tell exactly where his jacket began and ended. I love how you just let it fade away off the side of the painting. Um, you did a good job with this painting. Again, I don't think it was an easy one to do, but you did a very nice job. Water is not easy to do, and with that tile work, you did a lovely job. I don't feel like it was overworked. I felt like it was definitely a sunny day. I could feel the heat, and looking at her figure through the water is a little distorted, exactly the way it should be. You did a very nice job on this. Very good. This one made me feel like maybe it was an antique type painting, that she was maybe in a different era. And if that was how what you wanted to do, I feel like you accomplished that. Not too much detail, you know exactly. She got this hat on with a big ribbon over it, holding it on her head. It just made me feel about bygone days. A very nice job. And then these flowers are beautiful. I love how you let the top one, the back end of it, just kind of fade away. And then the one on the bottom right, how it comes more forward. You had to put a lot of work into this. There's a lot of information here, and you did a really nice job just keeping the eye moving throughout your picture plane. And the orchid, I don't know if orchids have an odor or not, but I feel like I could just reach in and smell it or pick it or whatever. It's done very, very well. I love how you just left the background just very fuzzy, and how the orchid comes right out at you, and it's very nice. I feel like I could be walking down this road and see exactly these buildings. Um, I'm sure it must be in Florida somewhere on the beach, and that's exactly what I feel like it should look like. I'm not all that familiar with Florida, but I like how you put on the red door on the first one with the red up at the top of the building. Maybe it's another building in the background. I'm not really sure. Doesn't make any difference. And the green that you use has been repeated, but I also feel like you've represented some depth here that is very, very nice. Sky looks beautiful too. I like this one as well, because again, the tree, you just very suggested. Don't have to have all that information. You have light shining through, leaving a light pattern down below, having the pink run through those Adirondack chairs up into the umbrellas, keeps you moving around and back around. And so it feels like a really nice painting. You did a really nice portrait of this. I like how the back on let's see, as I'm looking at it, the right side, you've let his shoulder become part of the background. You have that nice diagonal behind him. You did a beautiful job with those glasses as well. Very nice. I love the color that you used in this boy. He feels like he's a little bit mischievous, and And it feels like with the windblown hair, and you can almost tell his personality with the colors that you used. And I like how you positioned him on the paper. It's kind of a different perspective coming out of the left hand corner right up into the right, letting him go right off the edge of the paper. Very nicely done. I didn't think that this one would be an easy painting to do either, but I think that you accomplished making him feel like he's moving, and you got that, I don't know what you call it, where it's like in the increments and moving. You can tell he's having a good time playing his bells, and I think that you represented this very, very well. I love the prospectus of this. I keep saying prospectus, and I don't know why. It's perspective. The perspective. I like that it's just flat water. We always seem to feel like we have to get a whole bunch of information on that water, and it's done beautifully, just left flat. The tree up above, how it comes down at the top, has got a nice feel to it with the little flowers in front. The background trees back there, the other portion of the land, just repeated colors. It feels really nice. I really enjoyed this one as well. I like how you gave her just the chef the one eye, and the other woman standing there, so like, okay, how's she doing this? How's she doing this? I like the feel of this, and the spoon in the hand brings you up to the other woman, and with the red that's coming off the hat leading into the other woman, leads you right back into the chef, coming back and around in a circle. This was a nice job. I love the free and easiness about this painting. It feels, and I know this takes many years to accomplish things like this, where you don't overwork and give too much information. We know that these are a lily of some kind. We don't care what, but you did a beautiful job on the simplicity of this. Like I said, I know that that's not an easy thing to do, but you did a very nice job. I thought this was very fun, especially when you read the title, Not So Hidden. When you, at first you almost think those legs are almost part of the leaves, and then you look and you say, oh no, that's part of the bird. And so I think you did a really nice job with this as well. It's fun painting. You guys have the Florida snowbirds, and we have Arizona snowbirds. They don't look anything like these, but you did a beautiful job with this. I love the shadows that you have on the birds and how you connected them. And then I'm assuming they must be sitting on some kind of a nest, or maybe not. It doesn't make any difference. You still feel the sky, you know, you're looking up at them with the trees. Didn't put too much detail in those trees. You didn't need it. So it looks really, you did a nice job. I thought this was a very fun painting. I like how you repeated the blue at the bottom, moving up to the bird, down on the left to the other blue. I don't even know what that is, and quite honestly, I don't care. It almost looks like it could be like a mobile or whatever. It feels nice with the different shapes, but using some beautiful colors that weren't overworked. I just feel like it feels good. I liked it. I love how you handled the fronds in the background on this. These woodpeckers, they're funny little birds, and I thought you did a great job keeping the detail with the bird and the fronds or the foliage around the bird, but how you just let the background fronds, whatever these are called, whatever, I'll think of it in a minute. But you did a nice job on those background greens, and they didn't get boring. They don't look like they're overworked, and there's not too much information, so that you zero right in on that woodpecker. Nice job. I like this. I love all the different textures, and you use some of the greens and then moved into the browns and the blues. You could feel the distance with the river in between. I really enjoyed how you got all the different textures, and it's not too much information, but you could tell there's something going on there, that maybe there's some rocks on that hill. I don't really know. Makes no difference again. It just has a really nice feel to it. I'm sure that these are orchids as well, and you did a lovely job with this. I loved how some of the blinds were open and some of them were closed. You can feel the light shining through on those flowers. And the pinks, you didn't overwork. It doesn't feel like it feels like you had a really nice time painting this, and lots of times it's the joy of doing it, and I can feel your joy in this painting. Beautiful job. This one feels like it's a batik. I don't know if it is, or maybe it's painted on Yupo, but I just love how you handled the green leaves up in the front. Put them in, let them drop in some color, let it do what it's going to do. It says everything it needs to do, and you can feel that it goes back in with all the other greens back there, a little bit more detail. The water up front just seems like it has just enough information, not too much. You did a really lovely job on this. Again, this feels like a Florida beach home. I love how you have that tower in the background. Did a nice job on the buildings, and the tree, your palm tree is good. Feels like a kind of a rainy day maybe, or it's going to storm. I'm not sure, but it's a nice lead in on the bottom with the dark that goes right into where that tower is in the back. I'm not sure what that is. Doesn't make any difference what it is, but could be a lookout, could be whatever, but it really has a nice feel to it as well. And not too much information in the water. Again, you did a lovely job with that water. Very nice. I thought this was just adorable. I had the same experience with one of these babies, and I tried to paint it, and you did so much better than I did. Your water feels lovely. The little whiskers out front. I like how you left one of these leaves right in front. It helps you draw you back up into with the leaves on the right-hand side, using some of those same colors. Really nice. Again, whoever is teaching you guys how to do skies and water, you guys have really done a really nice job. You really feel that sky from one color to the next, right? Reflected in that water. The backlighting feels really good with those boats. Just a super job. This one has a lot more detail in it that I really enjoyed. I like how that water comes right up to the bottom of the post there. I don't know if there's a little island there. There's not. It doesn't make any difference to me. Feels like a place like I want to go visit. You did a beautiful job on this with the water, little waves, maybe a wake or something. Really nice. I thought this was beautiful. I think you captured that Moroccan vibe absolutely, with the wall, the color it is, and then not making the same blue in the window that's reflecting the sky. This couldn't have been an easy one either, but you did a lovely job. Really a nice job. I could almost reach the puppies. I want to grab up one and have it lick my face. I thought it was so cute. You did a great job, just not having too many hard lines in there from one puppy to the next. I can imagine this was not an easy painting with so many little puppies and their little faces, and feels like you gave it just enough detail without going overboard. Like I said, I just want to reach out and grab one of those babies. They're so cute. Good job. This abstract here, I just felt like, you can make up your own story about what it is. And I really enjoyed that a lot. The water possibly up front, maybe the moon in the background, maybe it's a terrible storm, maybe that's kind of the sun coming through, the sky above. And I don't even know if that's what it's supposed to be, but I really like how you moved the same colors around and made it feel like water, maybe some rocks with sky in the background. For me, that's what it is. Very nice job. I really like the elephants. The colors were, they weren't too much, they weren't too little. I've never been on a safari. It looks like you were, and you could feel the dust coming up behind them. I just really enjoy the feel of this. I like the positioning of them on the piece of paper. I like how it doesn't feel overworked at all. And I think sometimes grays can be very overworked. You laid them down, you left them alone, you went in for a little detail, and it just feels beautiful. Nice job. I like this one because I love the drawing underneath. It takes you through the whole journey of how you produced it. And I love the positioning on the paper, how her leg, you don't see the bottom leg, the top one, it goes right off the edge. I like how I can see the drawing where you decided to make some changes, but you left it alone. You didn't get in there and erase, which sometimes can make the painting look dirty when you do that. You laid down some color on top. I think you did an excellent job. I like this. This one again feels like maybe it's on Yupo or maybe whatever, it doesn't make any difference, but it feels, I like the shapes. I like how the color is repeated. I like how it brings you around, how you've softened it on some of the edges with the blues, but the blues are also in the reds, and it just had a really nice feel to it. Like I said, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but I love the feel of it, that you are like sleeping with your dog or maybe your daughter or whatever, and you've used the color very well. It goes all the way around the whole painting, brings you back up into the dog's face, right into the woman's face, over to the hand, back down to the dog. You can feel like they're truly snuggling. Very nice job there. And I like how you handled the dog's fur as well. Not too much information, just enough. You feel like he's a fluffy dog. Maybe he's some kind of a German Shepherd type thing. I don't know, but it just really a nice painting. The tulips, or trumpet, excuse me. I love how you use the blues and the greens and the commingled. I like how, and I know that they kind of look like they're upside down, but I'm sure that's how they grow. And it almost feels like the pollen inside is leaking off the bottom. And I like that you let the trumpets go on and off the page. Really nice bright colors here. It's really nice painting. I'm not, I was wondering if, I'm not really sure, but I think maybe you guys just use water media, and I love the feel of this. Might be gouache, might be acrylic, I don't know. But I think you use the colors very, very well. I love how you brought some of the green into the bill of the bird and into parts of the body and the back tail with the one on the left. Um, I really, this one is a really nice painting. How you can see the sky through the leaves and how the birds are connected. You did a nice job on this. I thought this was a very fun painting. I like how you put all the detail in the merry-go-round horse, and then you fuzzed out all the lights and everything behind him. You did a fabulous job with that. I don't think it's probably so easy to do that, but you did a really nice job with letting those lights still feel like lights, but they're in the background. This one is, the name really felt appropriate with this as well, with how you use the dark to lead around in the painting. It feels like it could be a bird. And I love the greens with the yellows that are keeping you going and moving with the different shapes, and it just feels like a nice painting to me. I love how you put the little white dots on one part of it. It's nice. And followed through in the negative on the other. Okay. And then this one, I love this portrait. I just thought it feels like it's a beautiful study of this woman. And I'm sure that if she didn't want this painting, I'm sure her children would, because it's a beautifully done study. It feels, I hate to call it a study, but it feels like it was just a beautiful rendition of this person. And I like how you laid down the color, just left it alone. You used the blue on her face as well as in the background. It's a beautiful painting. I think these are Bird of Paradise. I thought you did a really good job. I could imagine this very large on a big canvas, and I thought the colors are beautiful. You let them commingle. You didn't overwork them. I like how you zeroed in on a particular area. Your greens are moved around as well. Just really enjoyed this painting a lot. I thought this was a very fun portrait too. You could tell she's giggling, she's maybe getting tickled or something like that. You've expressed that very well. And it tells a story. And lots of times that's really important to me as well. I like how she's got her one shoulder up, and like I said, that what's made me feel like maybe she was being tickled or something. But you did a really nice job. But also by just not making the background quite as important either, you did a nice job with that. I thought this was such a fun painting. That's exactly what happens. If you take a picture of a cat, that cat looks away. Get your camera out, the dog gets right in your face. But again, you did a lovely job with the water in the background, not too much information. And I love how you handled the dog up front, being so close up to the camera. I like that. Definitely a photobomb. This was a very fun painting as well for me. And it looks like you had a good time painting it. I like all the colors are repeated, different shapes, keeps you moving around. This one is a very fun painting for me. I love how you did the lips, and like I said, with all the different shapes, just keeps you moving around from one place to the next, right back into her face. Really nice. This one, I love your colors. I love that you have positive and negative shapes here. And I like how you've repeated the shapes from the background down into the roots of the tree. I really enjoyed this one very much as well. The colors that you use just work really well together. And you let them, it looks like you've kind of laid them down, let them do what they're supposed to do, and they did it, and it just worked really well for you. Good job. This one was a very fun painting as well. I don't know if at the end, if you had taken like a white pen and outlined him, but I thought this was exceptionally well done. I loved how the background on his back just melds him right into the background and losing his legs on the bottom. I just thought you did a really nice job. I like how you used that white line. It works for me. Nice. I love the lemons. Again, it feels like it could be maybe like an acrylic or gouache or something, but you've used it very, very well. I love the texture on the lemons. I like how you put the blue, the green, and the yellow next to each other for some of the leaves. I can almost smell these lemons. I think you just did a great job. This one was a fun one for me too. I really like how you blurred out the bottom fin and it brings you right up into his face and along his back to those spiky things on there. But then in the background, you had the nice, no information, but it's enough info, that, it's underwater. It looks, you did a great job. This one could not have been easy either. You have a lot of information here and it looks gorgeous with the reds and the greens, with the flowers on those lights and getting the dimension happening and how it does move back, the perspective. You did a great job with this. You got some really great reds and greens that are just beautiful next to each other. Really nice job. I love the feel of this. I could feel that guy in his garden hoeing, and you did a fabulous job with those greens for the plants. I love how the one right in front of him has got the most detail, but if you really look, there's really no real detail. It's just you've laid it down, you let it happen, and that's how it feels, and that's what makes it feel like you really know what you're doing with some of those greens with the weeds or the bushes, and you've done a really lovely job with this. I love this one with like the fuzzy edges and the beautiful colors and the suggestion of the plants coming out of the bottom with maybe some of their buds not quite open and some of it's open, and you have nice negative and positive shapes, but the color looks beautiful. You know what you're doing with your color, I think that's for sure. And like I said, those positive and negative shapes without giving too much information, you know exactly what you're looking at. I mean, you're looking at flowers. I don't know what kind they are, and it doesn't make any difference. They're just really well done. Nice job. I love this with his nose right up there. You know, he's hounding you for a treat. I like how you have a lost and found edge where his back is. He absolutely feels like he is on attached to that piece of paper in a special way. I love the perspective on this. I don't know why I have trouble with that today. But I like how you didn't put too much emphasis on his spots, but just made a suggestion of them happening. And his eyes are done beautifully. I like how you let his rear end run right off the end of the paper and how you don't even see the front ones. You don't need to. All you need to see is that beautiful face to give him a treat. As a landscape, this was just so, it was done very well. I love how you got the water moving. I can feel it happening. And you did a nice job with the foliage in the back. It feels like it goes back. You just did a nice job putting those down and leaving them alone. You did a really nice job with this. I feel that river running back there, babbling brook. Very nice. I love this one too. I thought with the people and the perspective, walking down the street with the tall buildings. And again, it almost feels like it was almost like an urban sketching type thing, but it feels so nice with those trees with, you could tell that the top is lighter, that's where the light is and how it comes around down on the bottom without having to put in a whole bunch of information. I'm sorry, I'm going to take just a drink here. And the people, not any information on the their skin tones. You don't need to. And I like how you grouped them together as well. And you can tell they're walking down a city street. Just, you did a really nice job. I know that these things are not easy. Again, with the cat and the little girl, it just feels like a beautiful story to me. I love how the cat's just reaching out and giving her a little lick. I like the story behind this one. I can make up whatever I want. Of course, the title kind of gives it away with the kitty kisses. But you did a really nice job with this. It feels like it's a beautiful story. I love the bright colors in this one, and you did a beautiful job with not overworking them and kind of letting them commingle in certain places, not having hard lines where they did with the jellyfish. I could feel that that yellow fish, if maybe he's in an aquarium or something, he's looking out at me. You did a really nice job with this. The colors really make this, you did a nice job with that. That's all I could say, because I think when you try to make these colors go from one to the next, there's too many transitions happening, and that did not happen here. You had really nice. I like how this one went from the pink purple all the way to the dark purple, and you took whatever that was to make that shape. There was no hesitation. It feels like it was done masterfully. Because I think when you go to put that stroke in there, if you make any hesitation at all, it's not going to work. But you made that work, and I like your gradation of the colors with those white things coming up. It feels really nice. I did another abstract one, but it almost, to me, I could feel like it's some kind of a flower dancing in the wind. I like that you have the yellow in the background there, but you moved it into the purple again, and you used some of the yellow down in the left-hand side. I like, what would they be called? The things in the center of the flower, the stem, whatever it is. Anyway, that's what it feels like to me. And I just love the color that you used and that you've repeated it throughout. And it helps carry me around in the painting. You did a really nice job. This was done exceptionally well. I really like her braids that were not overworked. She has a nice shadow on her face that's not too deep in color. You know it's a shadow from her cap. Just did a really nice job with this. Her hair, especially, I think, with that braid, and that's not an easy job. I know that. And it's not overworked in any way, shape, or form. I like how you lightened up her whole right side as we're looking at it. Makes it feel like she's become part of the picture plane. She's attached to the piece of paper well. You did a nice job with this. Nice. I really enjoy these paintings that the flowers are so realistic, and you have positioned this very, very well on the piece of paper, letting the petals go out off the edge as well as the green leaf thingies or the red leaf things, and each one of them brings you right back into the flower. The soft pinks in there. I can almost smell this flower as well. It's a very nice job. I love the positioning of this one on your piece of paper too with the rose. I don't think roses are necessarily the easiest flowers to paint, but you've given enough information there that it just feels nice, and you have some harder lines, but you have nice softer lines, and you can tell that there's some depth to this. And again, I just like how you positioned this on your piece of paper as well. You did a nice job. Your colors look nice and clean. I love the flat water on this. But you've made it feel like there's definitely a distance in the water that goes back into the canyon or whatever that is back there. And that becomes very suggested. Can feel the clouds hovering on the mountainsides over there, but as close up, you get all the rocks with the green. You did a nice job with this. And this one here, I really enjoyed how you have made the definition of the mountain in the background, but you let it all drift in a lighter value, and it follows through, and then it almost looks like you did this almost in maybe one or two washes, and you let the color do what it's going to do, and giving us a little bit of detail up front, letting the rest get fuzzed out. It's very nice. I can feel that it's in the desert. Maybe those are canyons back there, but it really has a nice feel to it. Okay, the award winners. I so enjoyed this. I don't know how you put that down, but you have to know exactly how wet your piece of paper is going to be and what's going to happen when you lay it down. And again, I'm going to make up my own story. It feels like it's water with some weeds in it. You have a branch overhanging here on the right. It's a rainy day. Maybe it's fog. I'm not really sure. But I love how you've repeated the color, this goldy color, and how it moves into the darker. And even the darker is very suggested in places and not so suggested. So you have really darks next to some fuzzy lighter ones that and I love some of the stronger, harder lines up front and how it gets fuzzier as it moves back. I just feel like this was really done extremely well. this what I thought. I love the repeating pattern in the back. I don't know if it's supposed to be a shadow. It could be a window. I don't know. But with the positioning of the bird, the way it is on the piece of paper, just feels like it goes right around in a big circle. And the colors that were beautiful in the background, detail on the bird. Um, I love that the bird's neck is, kind of turning around. I don't think that this probably was the easiest bird to paint, but it looks like with the background, it just seems to work really exceptionally well for me. I really enjoy that a lot. I love these flowers, how they just feel like they're loose and free. You laid it down, you let it do what it was going to do, and one color moved into the other. And then where you needed some harder lines, you made that happen. A lot of softer lines. The background color is, repeated within the flowers. So you've used your color very well. It just feels like it's a really beautiful painting with nice hard soft edges, nice negative positive spaces. And you've drawn me right into the center of interest, to the flower on the left, and how you've left the lighter one down on the bottom is just kind of a little bit of a supporting actor type thing. It feels really like a beautiful painting. I loved this with these hard lines with some softer lines when you were actually drawing them with your, I don't know how you drew them, but where you have some double lines, and leads me right back into the teapot with the cherries and with the, I'm sorry, I have to take a drink again. But everything leads me right back into that teapot, and I just love the shape of that teapot. It's very I don't know what the right word is for it, but it just feels beautiful. And the way that you've used your color to emphasize your center of interest there with the teapot and maybe that plate in the background, but it feels, I would definitely hang this one in my home. It's a beautiful painting. I love the colors. I love the shapes you used. Really nice job. This one is done so exceptionally well. I love how you really zeroed in on the angels or whatever it is in the middle of that circle by using just ever so slightly different lighter values, but you've used almost the same colors throughout. How I can feel that building is very old by the texture you've put on it. Your drawing is exceptional on this. And, with those little tiny little changes within those little angels, whatever they are in there, you just did an incredible job with that. But it doesn't feel like, it feels like, yes, it was hard work, but yet no, in another way, it feels like, no, it was just the way it was. So that's the way you did it. And so it feels like there is a lot of talent behind this. You did a very nice job. And I absolutely love this one because it's the nice sand trail down to the ocean, lake, whatever it is. But those washes are so difficult to decide to leave them fairly nice and flat, but interesting as well. You have different colors in them that are not hard shapes. It still blends in with those flat washes, The yellow, I don't know, maybe it's a little field of flowers. I don't know. And it just doesn't make any difference. It speaks to what it is, and it just feels beautiful. Nothing, it feels like you have just a little bit of detail up in this foreground, but it leads us right up into this figure out by the water. The tree that's there by itself doesn't have a whole lot of detail, doesn't need it. It speaks for what it is. And I think that you've done a very nice job. I love that you used some different colors in the shadow areas, left light spots within the sand, but your shadows look fabulous on that sand. And congratulations is all I can say. You did a beautiful job.
Thank you, Kim, for an insightful exhibition review. It was truly a privilege to listen to your comments about each watercolor painting. And congratulations to our artists who had paintings that were invited to participate in the AMOS exhibition this year. And also congratulations to our artists whose paintings received awards from our judge and juror. We hope that you've left this exhibition review with new insights from our judge and juror, Kim Johnson Neckman.